Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of It's Armsday. I guess we'll call this one the Thanksgiving edition. As usual, what I will be doing is going over this week's rolls, all three rolls for last week's orders to the best of my ability. There are some guns that I did not get. As always, I can only hold so many on my characters, and I have rolls that I myself am hunting. That said, please remember mandatory disclaimers. Any rolls I recommend are purely opinion. Also, I am not a big PvPer, so you will find that I tend to lean more towards PvE rolls rather than PvP rolls. Last week we had a Uzume that was more a PvP god roll than a PvE god roll. And that was one of those rare times where I will actually recommend a PvP roll, as my PvP knowledge is not nearly as strong as some of the other Destiny gamers. As always, this is opinion, so anything I recommend is not a mandatory you buy it. I will point out a god roll when we get one. Even then, the goal is to have fun. Get a roll that you enjoy. That is the most important thing. And if it fits your playstyle, if you just have fun with guns with certain perks, then by all means get it. The point of the game is to have fun. Alright, with all that out of the way, let's get started. And first from Omelon is going to be the Omelon Uffern HC4. Let's check it out. Alright, so roll 1 has fast draw, quick draw, sure shot, Zen moment, single point sling, reinforced barrel, outlaw, and eye of the storm. It's a strong roll. Could be better. Roll 2 has fast draw, quick draw, sure shot, Zen moment, deja vu, single point sling, injection mold, firefly, and eye of the storm. Firefly is good and all, but in combination with these, roll 2 is not worth it, so we're just going to disqualify roll 2 right now. And finally, roll 3. So we have fast draw, steady hand, true sight, third eye, quick draw, brace frame, outlaw, and eye of the storm. Well, really? So if you're sitting on an Uffern HC4 package and you're tired of waiting, the only roll this week I would say really worthwhile is roll 1. It's got Sure Shot AS, which is the best hand cannon iron sight you can get. I mean, there's nothing better. So it's got Zen moment is one of those. You can live with it, you can live without it traits. So it doesn't hurt to have it, but a much better trait could be here, like crowd control or army of one. This has reinforced barrel, which is really good on hand cannons. A lot of people like rifled barrel because it takes away from reload rather than stability. And on hand cannons, I'd say this, if you have hand cannon loader gloves, then rifled barrel is a good choice, and it gives you a little more range than reinforced as well. But hand cannons like the Uffern are like the Judith in the sense of they have a really low rate of fire, they're very high in impact. When you shoot, there's going to be kick, no matter how much stability you have. I tend to lean more towards rifled barrel because really the point of hand cannons is precision aiming. You take your shot, you pace it, and then you shoot again. Outlaw's good. Personally, Feeding Frenzy, I've come to see that Feeding Frenzy is a trait that's a little underrated. Mainly because with Feeding Frenzy, every time you kill something, you can reload faster. With Outlaw, it requires a precision kill. But I'll tell you now, if Zen Moment were to be crowd control or army of one, this would be a hand cannon to own. Even now, this is a really good hand cannon. I would say this is just a normal hand cannon, however, because of Zen Moment. Like, it's not super special, but this hand cannon could take you far. You could rely on this in battle. So, if you don't want to wait till next week for the chance of a better roll, you want to get roll 1. Alright, and next from Omelon is the Omelon Kumakatok HC4. Let's see what they got. Alright, so the Kumakatok comes with Fast Draw, Steady Hand, Sure Shot, Zen Moment, Single Point Sling, Brace Frame, Triple Tap, and Eye of the Storm. This is a strong roll, but look at that range. Roll 2. Fast Draw, Steady Hand, Sure Shot, Third Eye, Single Point Sling, Rifled Barrel, there we go, Rescue Mag, and Eye of the Storm. This, I would say this, for a certain breed of PvE player, this can be a very reliable gun. Like, this can get you out of some messes. Right, and finally, roll 3. So roll 3 comes with Fast Draw, Steady Hand, Sure Shot, Zen Moment, Extended Mag, Injection Mold, Firefly, Zoomed. Oh, this was very close to being a really good one. So for folks wondering why I'm a little hesitant here, so yes, we have Firefly, we have Extended Mag, and we have Zen Moment. Extended Mag is really handy for a Kumakatok. So is Firefly. Because the reload on a Kumakatok default is pretty good. Combined with hand cannon loader, you really won't have to worry about your reload speed too much. However, as you can see here, the Kumakatok needs range. We do not have range on the Kumakatok. So you need range. We need rifled barrel or reinforced barrel, definitely, on the Kumakatok. That said, for those who like to fight real short range battles, this Firefly roll is not bad at all. Honestly, this is a tough call. If I had to pick one, as much as I kind of knocked it, I would probably choose roll 3 over roll 1. Reason being, with roll 3, you have extended mag, so you can add a few more shots in conjunction with Firefly. Every time you get a precision kill, the enemy will blow up, and that's going to make this hand cannon very useful. So you can clear out groups pretty easily. Groups of regular enemies will drop pretty quickly just by popping their heads. Zen Moment will add to your stability, but Omelon naturally is very stable, so you really don't even need it. So that's just cream on, I guess they say, the cherry on top. When it comes to injection mold versus extended mag, there's no reason why you would want to take injection mold and lose even more range. Unless you want to use the pistol whip your enemies and never shoot it. So that will be, so yes, for not only that, but you can also reorder the Kumakatok this week from the gunsmith, so I would definitely recommend you just pick up this roll, play with it, see if you like it, or try out one of the other two, and then reorder it, if you're interested in owning a Kumakatok. It's a pretty reliable gun. Next up from Omelon is the Omelon Thesan FR4. Let's see. So roll 1 is a solar fusion rifle with Spark IS6, Flash HS4, Hot Swap, Lightweight, Injection Mold, Life Support, and Exhumed. And roll 2 Roll 2 is an arc fusion rifle with Candle IS2, Flash HS4, Grenader, Enhanced Battery, Handlaid Stock, Rangefinder, and Exhumed. Ooh, that is this. Alright, the roll 2 right now is a near God roll. Like really, really near God roll. Alright, finally, roll 3. Roll 3 is a Void fusion rifle with Spark IS6, Flash HS4, Grenader, Quick Draw, Brace Frame, Life Support, and Exhumed. Well, right off the bat, if you are tired of waiting on your Thesan package, or you just need a really good arc fusion rifle, then I highly suggest you pick up Roll 2. Like, hands down. The flash sight leaves much to be desired, but Candle actually isn't that bad. A better trait could be here with Grenader. Crazy as it may sound, Hot Swap would actually be better. Armia 1 would be better, in my opinion, as Armia 1 would not only reduce your cooldown of your grenade, it will also reduce the cooldown of your melee. Then here in the middle column, you can choose between having an extra shot or handlaid stock, which will max your stability, which I would go for. And then with rangefinder, now you'll negate the range penalty of handlaid stock and probably get a little bit more range. But this is a really good roll. This is a arc fusion rifle that you would be able to rely on, and you'd be able to hit enemies from much further than you think you could with a fusion rifle. And I guess for those PvP exchanges, you can even add an extra bullet or two to your mag. So the recommendation for the Omelon Thesan FR4 is Roll 2. Roll 2 is the winner. Next up is the Omelon Eirene RR4. Let's see what we got. Alright, so Roll 1 is a Solar Sniper Rifle with Corvo SS2, Aquila SS4, Outlaw, Single Point Sling, Injection Mold, Clown Cartridge, and Exhumed. Clown Cartridge and Outlaw. Roll 2 is an Arc Sniper Rifle with Corvo SS2, Falcon SS1, Outlaw, Single Point Sling, Reinforced Barrel, Replenish, and Underdog. And finally, Roll 3. Roll 3 is a Void Sniper Rifle. Nice for Omelon to finally give us some variety in our elements. Which has, so anyways, the scopes on this one are Corvo SS2, Falcon SS1, Performance Bonus, Single Point Sling, Oiled Frame, and Clown Cartridge. And finally, Last Resort. Honestly, this one's tough. Well, if I had to pick, Roll 1 and Roll 3 are the two I'm leaning towards the most. Roll 1's really strong because it has Outlaw and Clown Cartridge. Clown Cartridge can easily boost your mag to 5. Outlaw for once you get a precision kill, because the Eirene does reload kind of slow, in my opinion. And really, I do not like taking range from really anything, but on a sniper you can afford to lose a little bit from a PvP standpoint. PvE standpoint, forgive me, for some reason I was thinking whatever you do, don't say PvP, so of course I said it. From a PvE standpoint, you can afford to lose a little bit, and that added stability will help, as the Eirene does have it has some kick. Whereas, comparing that roll here to Roll 3, we have Clown Cartridge again, Oiled Frame, which will help you reload. I'd say that's personal preference. And then you have Performance Bonus. The issue I have with Performance Bonus is it might give you some bonus reserve ammo, but that's ammo that I believe goes into your inventory, not directly into the magazine. So I'm not a big fan of it. That said, this is a pretty strong roll as well. So, for the Eirene, if you're tired of waiting, and we've had some bad rolls these past couple of weeks, I really couldn't blame you, I would go with roll 1. That said, roll 3 is just as equal a choice. So, I guess pick your element. Personally, I would wait if I were you. You can't reorder the Eirene this week, so definitely worth, it is definitely worth waiting, as it can be better. I mean, we're getting closer, so. Alright, let's see what Omelon has for us now. And lastly from Omelon is the Omelon Uzume RR4. The Uzume is another sniper rifle by Omelon. It is a part of the low impact, high rate of fire archetypes. It actually has really good default range, really good stability. I consider it a really good starter sniper. But that's my personal opinion, as always. Alright, roll 1 is a solar sniper with Yapaki SS2, Aquila SS4, Grenader, lightweight, reinforced barrel for added range, replenish, and shoot dilute. Roll 2 is an arc sniper with Yapaki SS2, Falcon SS1, Grenader, lightweight, casket mag, clown cartridge, ooh, this one's strong, and exhumed. Wow, that's a roll 2 is really strong. And lastly, roll 3. Roll 3 is a void sniper with Yapaki SS2, Falcon SS1, Outlaw, single point sling, hand-laid stock, replenish, and shoot loot. Wow. Okay. So the Uzume has a strong showing. So right off the bat, we're going to go with roll 2 and roll 3. Roll 2 is a near god roll. So you have Yapaki SS2. This is the best scope you can get on the sniper from Omelon. Basically, there's no real, it's a regular zoom. It doesn't over zoom and it doesn't under zoom. It's just right. And it handles great. Like Yapaki is the best Omelon sniping scope. Grenader would be better if it were triple tap. If this were triple tap and we had casket mag and clown cartridge, I would consider this a god roll. Even now, this is pretty much near to one, as with the Uzume, I believe, don't quote me on this, but casket mag will bump you up to about 6 or 7 shots. I believe you'll go up to 7 in the mag. And then with clown cartridge, every time you reload, you just might have an extra 1 or 2 rounds. The downside to this is, with casket mag, you do lose some stability, but honestly, the Uzume does not have very much kick. The low impact on it actually makes this a very smooth sniper rifle. And as we all know from the vendors right now, Rise of Iron is really pushing the low impact sniper archetype. So the Uzume actually isn't too bad. I have one right now that has triple tap and Firefly that I've used to solo take-in events and multiples of bosses. It's really not bad. It actually does really good damage. I'm beginning to think that they buff sniper damage like they did shotgun damage a few years back. They just have kept it a hidden stat. However, roll 3 is also really strong as well. So with roll 3 you have Outlaw, but honestly the reload on the Uzume is already ridiculous. What matters here is hand-laid stock. Hand-laid stock will make this gun shoot like a scout rifle almost. Like, there will not be very much kick at all, if any. Shoot the loot's kind of useful, I won't lie. However, in this day and age of having synths, there's really no reason to have to shoot your loot or shoot your ammo. And then there's replenish, which will refill your mag whenever you have a super. I personally feel like most of us could do without this. At least on a sniper, because if you're sniping, you should be pretty far away. And most supers require you to be, I'd say, at least mid-range with your enemies. That said, for my recommendation, I would say roll 2. Definitely roll 2. If I had to pick a roll out of these 3, if I did not wish to wait another week, then I would pick roll 2 for the Uzume RR4. As that is the closest to a god roll you'll get right now. And really, I would say the Uzume will be a good sniper to have until you get a good Eirene. So you could say it's a nice filler. That said, if you wanted to sit on your Uzume order, that is also acceptable. However, you cannot reorder it this week, so choose wisely. Whether you wish to hold on to it or redeem it. But if you choose to redeem it, definitely go with roll 2. And now for our Hake line of orders. Let's see if Hake brought us anything good this Thanksgiving. Starting with the Judith-D. Roll 1. True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, Last Resort, Rangefinder, Hand Loaded, Explosive Rounds, and Reinforced Barrel. You know, this isn't a bad roll at all. The only downsides to this are Last Resort. We all know from all my videos I hate Last Resort. I do not like traits that require your team or you to be dead or have been dead. Now, Rangefinder in conjunction with Reinforced Barrel is a good combo. However, as you can see right here, the reload on the Judith is low. Very, very low. Even with hand cannon loader gloves, it is really low. You need to have Feeding Frenzy or Outlaw. No ifs, ands, or buts. Roll 2. Roll 2 has True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, Triple Tap, Outlaw, Hand Loaded, Explosive Rounds, and Oiled Frame. Hand Loaded gives you a little bit of a boost. Outlaw, that's nice. And Triple Tap, that's also really nice. I would say roll 2 could do some strong DPS in the right hands. And finally, roll 3, which has True Sight IS, Sure Shot IS, Hot Swap, Rangefinder, Hand Loaded, High Caliber Rounds, and Reinforced Barrel. Rangefinder and Reinforced again. I guess this week Hake is all about that range. Well, I'll say this. I believe you can reorder the Judith this week. So, yes, you can. You can reorder the Judith this week. So definitely pick up roll 2. I recommend roll 2. At least for those who are waiting to get their hands on a really good Judith, you can pick up roll 2, and by just simply trying to get the hang of Triple Tap, you will start to learn and get a good feel for the gun. The Judith is a very, very good hand cannon. Like, it is my main hand cannon, my go-to primary. However, it is temperamental. You need the right rolls. As I've said every week, Outlaw or Feeding Frenzy are required. And then finally, you need Reinforced Barrel. Rifled Barrel cannot roll on Hake weapons. Well, on Hake hand cannons, correction. Therefore, Reinforced Barrel is the only range perk you really want. You don't want Rangefinder. Rangefinder boosts your range by 20%. That's not enough. You need that massive chunk Reinforced Barrel gives you. However, learning to use triple tap effectively on the Judith will also help you just learn the timing of the gun. So, when it comes to the Judith, the recommendation this week is roll 2. Get roll 2, play with it, get a feel for it, and once you've leveled it, or if you just want to get some free marks, get roll 2 and then dismantle it. And then reorder the Judith. It's well worth the wait. Someday soon, because my younger brother actually wants me to, I plan to redo my Fallen Invasion video, but this time using the Judith, not the Gaheris. So very soon I'll have some videos up with a well-rolled Judith in action. And next from Hake is what we're gonna, from now on, from this point forward, call the black sheep of the Hake family line, the Arminius-D. We've been honestly watching this gun for months now and getting good rolls on it. Or should we? It just isn't happening. But let's see if for Thanksgiving, RNG blessed us. Roll 1. Roll 1 comes with GB Iron, LB Assault, Surrounded, Glass Half Full, High Caliber Rounds, Speed Reload, and Rifled Barrel. Definitely one of the stronger Arminius rolls we've seen. Roll 2. Roll 2 gives us SC Hollow, LC Ranged, Army of 1, Rangefinder, High Caliber Rounds, Speed Reload, and Small Bore. And finally, roll 3. Roll 3 gives us GB Iron, LD Watchdog, Danger Close, Glass Half Full, High Caliber Rounds, Fitted Stock, and Small Bore. Well, I'm gonna be honest here. I really don't know what to recommend on this. Personally, I recommend none of them, because the Arminius can have much better. I mean, I would definitely say roll 1 is the strongest of them, however. The reload on the Arminius-D is already quite exceptional, so sacrificing a little for that massive jump in range Rifled Barrel gives, in my opinion, well worth it. Glass Half Full on the Arminius-D is also phenomenal, as once you hit that halfway point in your magazine, you're going to really see your damage add up. The Arminius-D is one of those low impact auto rifles, so any damage boost you can get is good. That said, I'm not too fond of Surrounded. In my opinion, this is the horse that took a shit in our parade. If it weren't for Surrounded, this could be a pretty good roll. Like, if that were crowd control, I would say that this is definitely worth picking up. Even though there isn't a lot of stability. A lot of folks like stability on the Arminius-D, because it's one of those bullet hose auto rifles with low impact. With the more stability, the less it rocks, and it just becomes a laser. Which, honestly, I have an Arminius roll that basically is a laser. It's quite useful. That said, Surrounded could be something else. Could be so much better. But Glass Half Full, just in conjunction with Rifled Barrel, and then you can even add on a little more range of LB Assault. That's pretty good. Like, I mean, this is one of the best rolls we've seen in a while. Roll 2 really isn't worth looking at. Army of 1 isn't good on auto rifles, so that's just done. One of these days, I'm going to explain these perks a little more. I should probably do a video on them. But basically, Army of 1 is designed, it's better used on high impact weapons, preferably primaries, as the whole point is to kill something without being assisted on it. As awesome as the Arminius-D is, and considering how it will chew through an enemy's HP, it takes some time to chew through. army of one isn't going to benefit. And rangefinder is a 20% increase in range when you are ADSing. Even with small bore plus rangefinder will not equal the rifled barrel we saw on roll 1. So roll 2 doesn't exist. If you get roll 2, only get it so that you can dismantle it out of spite. And finally, roll 3. So roll 3 gives us GB... Oh wait, I already went over it. See, it's so bad that I'm forgetting I even looked at these. Okay, it's not really that bad. So, danger close, I will admit, I prefer that more to surround it. But, surround it, this glass half full. So this has a glass half full as well. Small bore, pardon my sighs of frustration. Like, roll 3 isn't bad. Okay, you know what, looking at them again, if you are completely tired of waiting on this and you want to give up on it, but you actually want to use it for a little bit, get roll 1. Surrounded is a damage bonus, and in the right situations, it will help. Surrounded plus glass half full will boost your DPS, and then you have rifled barrel for that added range, which is actually not a luxury on this gun. Most people take the stability over the range, but that's why I'm also mentioning roll 3. Many people learn just to live with the range on Arminius, but most auto rifles also have range kind of like that, so you know, if you're an auto rifle user, I say use your own discretion. I'm gonna wait for that infamous roll that everybody wants. I believe it's the Doctrine of Passing roll, but I'm beginning to think Bungie has patched that roll out of the Arminius-D. So, that is it for the Arminius-D. And next from HC4 is the Strongbow-D. Let's see if this week we get a strong roll. Roll 1, an arc shotgun with soft ballistics, linear compensator, close and or personal, hot swap, flared magwell, perfect balance, and hand-laid stock. Wow, hand-laid stock is amazing on HC4 weapons. Roll 2. So roll 2 is a void shotgun with CQB ballistic, field choke, last resort, battle runner, flared magwell, hand loaded, and oiled frame. I could actually, this one could have its uses, but there's much better things you could do with a Strongbow-D. And finally, roll 3, which is a solar shotgun with smooth ballistics, accurized ballistics, close and or personal, battle runner, flared magwell, fitted stock, and oiled frame. If you want my opinion, well, obviously you do if you're watching this, none of these are good. Now, I am talking more from a PvE mindset here. I mean, the strongest roll in my opinion would have to probably be roll 1. But even then, you know what, if you have a Strongbow-D order, you can't even reorder it, so I would just pass. Just pass on the Strongbow-D. Just pass this week, wait till next week, cross your fingers, and hope that some Guardian returns a good Strongbow-D to the gunsmith after Black Friday. Alright, and leading the charge for Suros is the RE41. Now, I recommended this last week as we got a roll that's similar to the notorious Righteous 7 that used to be sold by New Monarchy. This is a pretty good auto rifle, trust me. With the right perks, it becomes a laser. Or, it can just become a kind of jack of all trades. So let's see what Rule 1 has for us. We have SLO-19, SPO-26, SRO-41, high caliber rounds, Feather Mag, would definitely say high caliber rounds, Snapshot, small bore, and glass half full. I'd say that's pretty strong. Roll 2 has SLO-19, SPO-26, SPO-57, perfect balance, that's we'll need it. Appended magazine, lightweight, hand-laid stock, that's overkill with perfect balance, but it kills the range. And of course, private eye. Because you need that one perk just to ruin it. Oops. And finally, roll 3. It has SLO-19, SPO-26, SPO-57, high caliber rounds, Feather Mag, lightweight, small bore, and hip fire. We got some really unique rolls this week. Well, if I had to pick one of these right here, right now, because I didn't want to wait, I'd probably go with roll 1. Reason being, you have high caliber rounds to stagger your enemies, small bore for added range and stability, and I believe small bore only reduces the magazine to 38. Don't quote me on that. And then glass half full for added damage. Throw in SPO-26 for improved handling, although I personally think SLO-19 is aesthetically more pleasing. And really, that's all that's worth mentioning. Suros needs to work on their game. They're falling behind Hake and Omelon. Alright, and that is it for our Armsday orders, or at least the packages that I physically own. If you have an order that I have not named, please post the rolls and I will update the thread on Bungie.net with it. Of course, citing you with credit. So, let's get to next week's orders. So next week we can order the Suros DIS-43, the Suros DIS-47. Those of you who've been waiting a long time for these orders, now is the time. As I mentioned earlier, you can reorder the Judith-D, you can reorder the Kumakatok HC4, and looks like we can once again order the Uzume-D. If I had to pick a choice on which to order, both Suros guns, the Judith, and then the Uzume. The Uzume is a pulse rifle that hits like a truck. It is well worth it once you can get the right rolls. Same with the Judith. The Suros DIS series I unfortunately am not as familiar with as I wish I was. I'm working on it. Still playing around with some and learning them. The Kumakatok, in my opinion, you can skip, but there's no other hand cannons, and if you have the space, why not? Give it a go. And then finally, it looks like once again, the test weapons are mostly yeah, they are mostly PvE, so this is definitely the time to test your weapons once again. Get some easy faction, you might get a rank up package, and you might get a god roll in it. That's how I got my fusion rifle. And that's it. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this edition. Sorry for any background noise. I tried to find the most silent area I could get to, but the world was against me. And yeah, that's all I got.